On today's Performance TV, we're stepping it up. Delving into the nuts and bolts, getting our hands dirty.
Whoa, wait a minute. Wait, tire shine on the paint? Welcome to another edition of Performance TV. Tommy, we're going to clean this whole car with just this product right here. Just what you see right here, no buckets of water.
I'm telling you, with the Croftgate USA, we got Frank DeFeo here. 3 products going to clean this entire car?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, we wanted to change the way people think about cleaning their car. You know, with all the water restrictions in the United States right now, and heck, just the mess you see when you drive down the street, I wanted to simplify. You know, you go into the store and you find all these different products. I wanted to show the customers that, heck, 2 bottles and then a bottle of wax does your entire car, from the wheels and tires, paint and glass, to the interior.
Now, how did you simplify it down to only 3 products to do this?
Well, I wish I could say I did it, but I didn't. Our chemist went to work. Rick Schurz, the president and CEO of Croftgate USA, told his chemist, look, Frankie wants something to be able to clean the paint, clean the glass in one step. And that's what we did with Aquano. And then I said, look, I want tires and wheels. I want them clean. I want to be able to clean chrome, heck, painted.
Wait a minute. Did you say tire stuff and chrome in the same sentence?
It doesn't make sense. Clean your wheels, clean your tires, clean the leather seats, all without the grease and without the sling. You know how it slings up down the
Yeah, it makes a mess.
We don't need that.
And then our final step is our Quick and Slick. It's what we're really excited about. Several NASCAR teams use it. No more, you know, creases and crevices, all that dust and wax that builds up. We're not going to do that.
3 bottles and some microfiber towels here, and we're going to have this car clean. Frank, I say we get started.
Let's do that.
First, we're going to clean here with the Aquanil. Now, is there any particular way, or we just spray it on and go?
And we always recommend spraying a little bit more on your microfiber towel. So just take 1 spray on your towel and simply wipe it on, just like you're cleaning your furniture at your house, or maybe, you know, your countertop in your kitchen. It's not hard.
Yeah, the glass. You said it'll clean the glass, everything. Same thing, just spray it on?
Same process. So now you're done wiping it in. Take your dry one and go ahead and buff it off for me. It's not hard work. You don't need water. You can do it. It won't scratch.
That's amazing.
Now, if we look at the windows, he's cleaning all the bugs. You know, it's a hard thing to do, is get all those bugs off. But he's cleaning the glass. No streaks. I won't tolerate streaks.
I know, no streaks. I like that. I like no streaks.
So now he's onto the hood. In no time, he just keeps going. And the beauty of it is, too, we talked about it, no more water spots. So if you're in the middle of washing the car and the sun comes out, you can do this all in direct sunlight. And it's easy. So go ahead and spray the hood. It's easy.
Now, this car's kind of clean here a little bit. What about something that would be, it's got some road grime and stuff on it?
Road grime doesn't stand a chance against Croftgate USA. Our product lifts and suspends, what we call encapsulates the dirt. The microfiber towel basically wicks it up, and you're doing the rest. You have to make this motion anyway, but instead of spending all that time like we talked about with the water dripping out, it's wiped on, it's wiped off, and it's completed, and it's done. And look at the results it gives you. It gives you professional results in your driveway. If you're in the middle of washing your car and just say you had to leave the house, you could be in the middle of the house, leave the car right where it says. Heck, you could take that car in the middle of cleaning it.
Right.
If it's clean, half of it's not clean, come home, clean the rest of it.
Frank, something else we don't have to worry about. We just spent all that time washing the vehicle in the driveway, but we were doing it with bucket and water. Now we've got water dripping everywhere when we shut the door and roll the windows down.
Yep.
We're not going to have that with
People
this.
forget that those little things take time. You nailed it. Time is, everybody wants things done faster.
I want to move on. I want to see this tire shine.
We're going to do the tire shine. So what I did was we made a tire shine that cleans the wheels and the tires. And we talked about it.
The wheels and the tires.
The wheels and the tires. There's my bare hand. And I'm going to show you that this vehicle's got some brake dust on it. So what's cool about Croftgate USA's Tire Shine Plus is you simply spray your tire shine.
Now, that's the last thing I would do, because I got shiny chrome wheels on my car.
No, you don't want to get
It gets on there, it's all gooey. I hate it.
It's just so cool to be able to do this, you know. It gets that brake dust off. A lot of the brake and wheel cleaners are unsafe for you. And in fact, a lot of the bottles say it could cause upper respiratory tract failure. You don't want to be using that on your car. You just want to clean your car and enjoy yourself. So now we've cleaned the wheel with our Tire Shine. So now we take our Tire Shine Plus. We're going to take 1 spray on the towel. We're going to just go right around the tire. So now we've cleaned our paint. Hey, wet look, but dry.
All right, Tommy, you got that looking good down there.
Last step.
Quick and slick. So, Frank, just a couple of sprays on here?
That's it.
Okay.
That's all.
This is the wax. This is kind of the sealer, the final step.
This is reactive polymer technology that's going to give you a minimum of 6 months of protection without all that effort of waxing your car with all the white chalky residue.
That's the kind of waxing I like right there.
Yeah.
Now the car is completed, but there's one more thing you need to see about Croftgate USA. It's really cool. So I'm going to spray some of that tire shine on my hands. We're gonna wipe it on
Whoa, wait a minute.
We're gonna wipe it on the
tire
paint.
shine on the paint?
On this $80,000 Cadillac. We're just gonna take, again, some of our waterless car wash. And I'm gonna use it, again, on my bare hands. I'm gonna show you how safe this is. We're gonna wipe it in again. Again, with a dry microfiber now, just simply wipe it off.
Wow, I'm not seeing any residue there, nothing.
You would imagine it would be greasy and slick because of putting
Right.
tire shine. Why don't you go ahead and feel that for me, please?
Right.
Feels like it's clean.
Yeah, I mean, and there's nothing on there. It's gone.
That's pretty impressive, Frank. I appreciate you coming by today, showing
thank
us
you
all
for
the
having us.
Croftgate USA
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, absolutely awesome.
We can check out all your products, CroftgateUSA.
CroftgateUSA.com. Absolutely. Check us out on Facebook, too, at Croftgate USA as well.
This edition of Performance TV, presented by Lokar Performance Products, is being brought to you by The Diesel Store, your source for everything diesel. And by The Little Power Shop, we will not be undersold. And by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology.
Welcome back to Performance TV. Tommy, you know, as soon as we get a new truck or SUV or whatever, first thing I'm starting to think about running boards. And a lot of times some of the running boards I've looked at, I've been a little worried that they're not going to be sturdy. These from ATS Design, hey, these got some load capacity to them.
These are nice. Let me tell you, we got Gil here from ATS.
Hello.
I like your running boards. You can customize them to whatever you want. You can pick and match what you want for your specific vehicle, and you make them for everything. I mean, the instructions are pretty simple here. Looks like it's going to be an easy install, but you make these for Ford, Chevy, Toyota, all makes of vehicles.
Yes, we do. We have them available for every vehicle, and if we don't have your vehicle, we have universal brackets. You know, you make them fit. Go to it.
If you've got a custom truck or you want an old truck, you want to throw a set of these on, you can make some brackets, you'll make them fit.
Correct.
And you said the word custom, and you can definitely customize these. Gil, what all can we do with this front piece here?
Well, the front piece we can interchange to a couple anodized pieces, or we can paint it to match the vehicle. It comes in an anodized black or a regular anodized, and we can also have it in chrome.
I like that because you don't have to buy a whole new board. I mean, if you're driving your truck for a while, you want to jazz it up a little bit. You want to make this match the chrome bumpers. You don't have to buy the whole new board. You just take the end caps off, slide this out, slide a new piece in. You got a brand new board, basically.
You technically do, and say, for instance, you have a, boo-boo.
You just slide a new piece in here.
Yeah, I don't have to take them off the vehicle or anything to be able to do that. All right, Gil, so we have this particular board all color keyed to match the truck, including the end caps. Is there anything else we can do color-wise for the end caps?
They just basically come in a satin black. They also come in replacement caps, so in case, again, you have a boo-boo, bam.
Here's what I like. This extruded board has the track inside. One bolt, off comes the end cap.
Yes, one bolt comes off the end cap, then we slide in our square head bolts, drop it onto our brackets, tighten them up, and we're down the road.
So your first step is the brackets. We're going to install those.
Yes.
I mean, those are pretty hefty brackets. I mean, what kind of weight load are we talking for these brackets?
We're looking at about 500 pounds. They're galvanized steel with powder coat. Check this out. The brackets supersede the vehicle, so you'll never have a problem with,
Yeah, stepping out on this and bending the board. These brackets are stout.
Exactly.
I mean, it comes with everything. All the bolts, everything to put this thing on. It looks from the instructions like a pretty easy install. What's our first step? We're going to put the brackets on the truck.
Yes, we're going to get underneath the vehicle, show you a couple steps, and hang on the brackets and drop the boards on.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Now, this specific truck, this Tundra we got, there's not going to be any drilling. All we're going to do is remove these bolts, the factory bolts out of here, pull them bolts out, put them up there, put the brackets in. Got new bolts, supplied all the new bolts. We could use the old bolts, but we're going to use the new bolts.
Correct.
All right, cool. So I'll get started on taking these factory bolts out. We'll get ready to hang the brackets.
Gil, you guys have made it very, very simple because you have all of the brackets marked. You can't go wrong on what goes where.
No, the brackets are marked location 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and they're also marked with the part number BRK145, which we're installing today.
All right, guys, I got all the factory bolts out. I'm ready to put the brackets on. You want to hand me some brackets?
Here's the front one.
All right.
Here is second middle, third middle, and then we have the rear right over here.
All right.
Yeah, we don't want to tighten these up all the way yet, do we, Tommy?
Right. Give me some tips and tricks here.
The trick on this particular installation is basically leave them a touch loose, the hanging, so we can place the running board right over the brackets. And then once we do that, and the board's in place, we snug the brackets up, and then we hit the board.
Oh, I see. You got the slotted holes for adjustment, sliding.
Exactly. A little cheating
perfect.
there.
Yeah, so you don't want to tighten them up and crank them on there.
Yeah.
You want to get the board in place.
Yeah.
I see this bracket here has an extra tab on it with no bowl hole. What's the purpose of that?
The purpose behind that, if it's a different application for Toyota, it's the Sequoia application.
You make a general bracket. You don't have to make all the brackets for every different vehicle.
Exactly.
You make one that fits them all.
Exactly.
Perfect. All right, let's tighten this baby up a little bit. Not real tight, we'll just snug it. Run these bolts up.
All right, Gil, we're going to go ahead and get these ready to go up there. First, I'm going to take the end caps off.
Yeah, just a couple turns. You don't need to take it all the way off.
Okay.
Then basically we're going to come in here, slide this right off, place
Okay.
this down in a safe area. Then we're going to grab our square head bolts, and we're going to load each slot here with 4.
Okay.
Here you go. I'll do the back end here. And just slide them on in.
These channels are great. This is awesome to be able to do
Yeah,
this.
makes for installation a lot easier.
We like easy.
Then we're going to take our cap and place it back on.
Okay.
And there's a little bit of a trick to this. We're going to line it up. There's some clips in here that line up to the extrusion here.
Okay.
Basically line them up as so. Make sure you line up your square head bolt, and it slides right on with ease. It's basically ready to tighten it up.
Yeah, and like you were saying earlier, we want to change colors, we want to do whatever.
Exactly.
We don't have to take these off the truck to be able to change them out.
Exactly. Basically just tighten it up and switch it out.
Ready to go. How you coming, Tommy?
Got it, one more bracket, and I'll be ready to hang that.
All right.
Here's a little trick here too as well. What we like to do is we kind of look at the vehicle and we look at the length of the board. So we'll slide these bolts to their somewhat near location, so we're not struggling to get it through the channels.
All right, Gil, we're getting ready to throw this thing on, and we're going to do that right after this. Welcome back to Performance TV. Gil, grab that end over there.
All right, let's do
Here
this.
we go. We're going to get these put up on here. And ready. And we're going to try to be careful because we don't want these to slide.
No, we just kind of want
Too
to
much.
roll it onto the brackets.
Okay. There we go.
Tilt it up a little bit, we can line them up.
We can see right where we're going. And I noticed, Tommy, how you left the brackets here
Yeah,
so
you
we
let
can
them
slide
loose,
them.
Let them
yeah.
dangle a little bit, just so you can get the board in there easy and slide them around and tighten the bolts up.
Okay.
All right.
So we're going to use some nylock nuts and some washers.
Nuts and the washers all comes with a kit.
Yes, all part of the kit. Basically snug these up.
I like this, got the slotted head there. You don't have to worry about holding that bolt, it holds itself.
I know.
And as you'll notice, the paint matches the vehicle quite well.
Oh, it does. Really complements this truck nicely.
You can go out in your driveway, jack your truck up, put these right on.
Yes, yes you can.
Now, Gil, do we want to make sure that we have all of these put on first before we start tightening anything else up?
Yeah, it's best too. So then nothing's missed.
We got them all down there?
Yeah, I got the 2 here.
Oh, missing one there.
The only thing you may have to watch is the backsplash, that it doesn't get binded up between the pinch weld and the board.
Okay.
So right up in here, as you can see, it needs to be pushed out. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Just push it forward so it unbinds. So when we're tightening up the brackets, you don't, feel the resistance.
See, Shorty.
There we go.
Shorty over here.
There we
can
go.
see that part. There we
So then basically tighten up the brackets.
All right, tighten the brackets up?
Yep.
You bet. And we do our final adjustments with the other bolts in the boards, right?
Yes, correct. Those are slotted as well, so we can adjust the board inbound or outbound, and we can slide it to adjust the vehicle. If it has equipped with a mud flap, it sits behind the mud flap, so we can slide it back
Right.
or forward, whichever way you want. There's really no right or wrong right about now.
Make sure they're level and everything's good.
Exactly.
All right, Gil, we got it all in place now.
Yes.
The final adjustment is alignment. We want to make sure it's straight and true.
Well, the trick basically is you want to align it to the vehicle, which is pretty close right there.
All right.
And then we tighten up this first,
All right.
sorry about that.
Now you want to snug this one up so it stays in place, right?
Exactly.
All right.
Make sure, and then we walk all the way to the back here, and basically we just sit down and we kind of make sure that we can get it aligned where we want it. We want it
Nice, straight
outboard
and
out.
true with the vehicle.
Exactly, and then basically tighten up both back here and move all the way down to the front.
Just work my way back down that way.
Exactly. Basically, we tightened up the front nylock nut, so basically we can get it like a pivot, so then it stays in place the whole time and not worried about it moving on us.
Yeah, and Tommy, if you think that was easy installing the boards, Gil, we talked about right at the beginning how easy it is to change out the end caps, the sides, and while it's on the vehicle.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead, just for an example here, and change this one out. All you have to do is just
Loosen it up.
Loosen up. Doesn't have to come all the way off. We're going to take that.
Slide it right up.
Now, there are, as you mentioned earlier, there's a couple of channels in here that we want to look for to match up here on the end.
And make sure that the square head bolt lines up. You may have to push it up a little bit to get into the channel because you're no longer on the back side of it.
Right. There we go. Tighten her back up, and that's done. Well, folks want to find out more about all you guys have at ATS Designs, and we find you online.
ATSdesign.com.
All right. We'll have another project coming up next on Performance TV.
I caught up with Wayne Carini. Wayne is famous for chasing cars and a lot of other car shows that you've been on. And tell me a little bit about how this whole love affair with cars got started.
My father restored cars for a living when I was growing up. My cousin built hot rods in the shed next to the garage. I grew up with a little bit of passion for everything, you know, classic cars, collector cars, and then hot rods too.
There had to be one car that got this whole thing started.
It was 1961. We used to go to a resort in the Catskills, and it was a doctor that had a 250 short wheelbase Ferrari. Over the years, we've become friendly with him, so he gave me a ride, and that did it for me.
Is there a car out there that you haven't restored yet or that you haven't sold at auction that you got your eye on?
Matter of fact, there's a car that I hope to be able to see over the weekend that's really spectacular. You know, it's like Christmas every day. You know, you never know what's going to be in the box. You never know what you're going to be able to unwrap. There's probably 100 favorite cars. I'd like to have a 4.5-liter Bentley. I have a 3-liter Bentley right now, so that's a quest of mine to be able to have one of those someday.
What's the best advice you could give to a young guy who wants to get into this crazy hobby of ours?
You know, just go out and go to car shows, ask a lot of questions, and be involved. As long as you're having fun, you're enjoying the hobby, you're enjoying the camaraderie, and that's basically what this is.
Well, he's Wayne Carini, and this is his car life.
This edition of Performance TV, presented by Locar Performance Products, is being brought to you by Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener. And by Corgi, the revolution in 3D wheel aligner technology. And by Motordog 69, ride with pride. This week's ARP quarter-mile quiz question comes from Jake in Ohio. Jake's question is, when some dragsters leave the starting line, why do they seem to die and take off again?
What's wrong with them? Well, Jake, actually, there's nothing wrong with them. It's a class called Super Comp. We have an 890 index, and within that class, there are cars that have all different size combinations, from small blocks to the biggest of big blocks, but we all have to run 890 in a quarter mile. So what we're doing is we're going on what's called a throttle stop for a set amount of time at a set RPM. Everybody's a little different, but that's why you see those cars do that, because if we go too quick, we break out and lose.
If you have a question for the ARP quarter mile quiz, send it to the address on the screen. If we use your question on the air, you'll receive an ARP quarter mile quiz shirt.
Welcome back to Performance TV. When we think about locking fasteners, we think Stage 8, and Robert Ahern, the director at Stage 8. Now, I know you guys had bolts. But what if we have studs? You going to be able to help us with that?
Absolutely. We make locking nuts for studs for many different applications.
You know, and we look at some of the different ones that we have here. Now, this one looks completely different. Tell me about that one.
This is unique. This is new. This is for a collector kit. We actually add one additional piece of hardware called a threaded tab. Threaded tab goes on the backside, so it flips around and hits the tube on the collector, so you only have to wrench one side. Then when you put your locking retainer on, it comes up, hits the tube of the collector, and this can only tighten itself when it's against the tube on the other side. So yes, we do header bolts, collector bolts, nuts for turbos, all kinds of things.
Mention turbos, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Turbos are just falling off left and right with this new band of drifters out there. You know, they're putting turbos on everything, and they're just falling off the cars. So we've solved that problem as well.
Well, and we have a turbo coupe back here, and we're going to take care of this one before it falls off.
Sounds good to me.
Robert, this just isn't any ordinary nut. It even has grooves here on the back. There's a lot of special features that you guys are put into these.
Let me explain the system to you real quick. First of all, this is a Stage 8 groove nut. The groove is a requirement of the locking fastener system. This is our locking retainer, which acts just like a wrench that goes over the nut, and then the E-clip goes on to hold it in place. That's what the groove is for, okay? So it might be easier to understand once we install them. Why don't we go ahead and put them on?
Okay.
hold the flashlight there for you.
Sure.
Okay, nice and tight. Good job.
Hey, there we go.
All right.
Now you come over and do your magic here, Robert.
Now that we have the nuts on, we want to make sure that the retainer is placed properly.
Okay.
Now remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, right?
Sure.
So we want to put the retainer where it's going to hit an abutment or the housing of the turbo assembly so that it doesn't allow the nut to loosen anymore. I've actually seen these put on the wrong way where they can loosen 1 3/4 turn before they stop. So pay attention to that. Goes right over the nut, and I'm positioning it so it's twisted all the way against the housing just like that. And you throw an E-clip in that groove. Pop it in there just like that. There you go. The clip should spin a little bit. The retainer is tight against the housing, and that nut cannot loosen.
Wow, and that's really going to be a great thing. Like you said, for a lot of the folks that are dealing with the turbos and just they're dropping them everywhere.
Well, and the great thing is you can visually inspect it. If you see the locking retainer and the clip is installed, you've lost no clamp value.
All right, go ahead and we're going to stick the other one on here. Folks want to find out about all the different applications that you have something for. Just hop on your website.
www.stage8.com.
Okay.
Hey, Kathy, you guys need help?
Oh, showed up just in time.
Nice to see ya.
Yeah.
Hey, let me help you out real quick.
Okay.
That's going to do it for us today on Performance TV, but be sure and check in next week to see what other new products we've got. How was that, huh? Big help, huh?
Yeah, that was a great help. Thanks. Did you rehearse that?
Oh, yeah, I got it. I've been working on it for an hour.